Hi, all. Welcome to this session of my webinar where I tell about myself more than I listen about you, because you also need to know about me a bit. And this is about the leadership growth webinar wherein I help first time managers to get unstuck. And why first time managers get stuck is the reason why before that they were used to carrying orders of their seniors, right? And now after the promotion, they are getting into the cadre of managers where they need to take decisions. Decision making is something of a huge task that I come across in my way of life also, wherein I see people in very senior positions also. They 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 shirk from taking decisions. They want to do the same thing as it was yesterday, day before yesterday, last month, last year, and they continue doing that. And any small change pertaining towards a new innovation becomes very difficult for them. But it is a good news for first time managers, because so many people are afraid of taking decisions. And if you are good at that, and if you can make yourself capable enough to take decisions, then you are the person who will stand out in the whole lot very easily. Take a decision. It may not be what other people would like you to take and appreciate in the first go, because people don't take decisions because they cannot see the result that it is going to bring. And so because they cannot envision the result they are going to bring, that is why they are not taking decisions. If they know for sure 100% that it is going to bring a positive result, then they will not hesitate to take any decisions. Agree? So that is what I see, that people take a lot of time in making decisions. That is where the first time managers get stuck. And it is not only the decision making, it is the ability of decision making that you need to tell people, and you need to share with them, and you need to tell it their way, to to make them included, to get their buy-in. In the first place, when you are going to get their buy-in, that is the very important part. So let me share the screen and tell you what all I had here. So, but this is the background that I tell you. And how many of you would like to learn about this leadership growth journey? It is very simple and very complicated at the same time. Why? Because these are very simple tweaks in your behavior that is going to get you through. And because it is difficult because it is uh, it is not easy to come by unless you have practiced, and you take decisions, right? Decision making requires a lot of practice. That is what I want to tell you. So here is what, let me share with you. So how to become a CEO in 90 days. So for the first time managers, let me tell you, if you are the first time managers, it is very usual that you will have this kind of dream in your mind. But how? do you think that you are going to be that, get there? That is a dream that you have, right? So hi, Dr. Subrat Chakravarti. So let me share the screen. So the first time managers, they are actually they get a dream to get there, but how to get there they don't have any clue. So this is what I uh, tell you about the 3 secrets to strategize the career ladder and prove uniqueness, and prove your uniqueness. How do you do that? So the first context that I would like to tell you is that you have to listen to this for 90 minutes to know about me, and how I am qualified to guide you. And then after 90 minutes we can have the questions so that we can discuss further. I'll take you through about my journey, how it has started, and then we can go through and have this question and answer session. So I thank you enough to have joined me. Thank you, Dr. Subrat, for having joined me today also. So the first growth questions are you do you love what you do? Are you in love with whatever you are doing right now? For people, first time managers, it is always something, a complaint, no, who are stuck, because you get complaint. Why do you get a complaint? Because something in your workplace you didn't like, or somebody told you something and you were not able to manage. Then after some time you think that it is too much for you, and then you want to get out of here. But if you get out of this here at this moment with this mindset, then you are going to get into another place, maybe sooner or later, and there also you will face the same problem, because it is a mindset issue. It has nothing to do with the external circumstances. Although the external stimulus will always be there for anybody and everybody, each of us. There is not a rose bed for us all the time. So you have to take this into your stride. So that is the first question I have. Do you do what you love, or whatever you love? Do you Are you doing that? So most of the time, what you love may not be possible for you to do or get your work like that, but you can always love whatever you are doing. So these are part of the growth questions that you have. The first thing, that is the first thing. The second thing is showing your relevance. What is that one thing nobody else can do? Have you figured out that? Question number 3 is becoming your way. Have you made the work a dream one? As I said, if you don't get the work that you love, you should love whatever you are doing. So, have you made that a dream one? Question number 4 is, are you thinking long term? So, most of the time, what happens when you think long term, your present work will show the relevance. You will see that this work has something to do with your long term goals. So, have you started thinking about your long term? Question number 5 is, what difference do you make to your organization? By being here, what kind of difference are you making? In other words, what is the unique thing that you are doing which nobody else will be able to do or is doing right now? How do you measure quality of your task? So most of the time your problem, your complaints is based because somebody has commented something on your work. So, but do you measure the quality to give a feedback or give a counter answer or prove the legitimacy of whatever you are doing? So, how do you measure that? Question number 7 is, are you solving a problem? Right now, nobody bothers about the quality of your work if you are solving a problem. So, if that is something also you are doing, then are you doing that? Question number 8 is, how can you minimize regrets as a 80-year-old? So what you are doing right now, many people think that they have time in their lives. How much time do you have? Nobody knows. So do you have minimize regrets at that time so you can start now? So are you wasting time right now? That is the purpose of this question. The ninth question is, do you think you are a better person than a year back? This means whether you are developing all the time, making yourself better and better all the time. So if you are doing so, then you must be a better person than a year back. So if the question answer of all these questions is yes, then you are definitely securing a. Then you are perfectly on track. Might be a little tweak here and there will do. But if you are in 40 to 60, then you should think about revamping yourself. And if it is less than 40, definitely it is a mindset issue. So see you in 90 days. I would like to ask you some questions. What about a CEO attracts you? The other day, I was speaking to so many people, and they were saying that there no, nobody in his environment, or there is no book also which can guide that person to become a CEO, how to become a CEO. So, but what in a CEO attracts you? Is it the power that is attracting you? So, real power actually doesn't come with authority, it comes with capability and responsibility. How do you understand that? Track the hours, work hours with an Excel sheet. So, this if right now you are not able to manage the time in whatever position you are, how can you manage the time when once you become a CEO? So you are not giving enough signal to anybody that you are a master of your time. So how can you do that? You can track your work hours with an Excel sheet. What is the average time required for that kind of work, and how much time you are taking, and what are the distractions? Behave like a CEO. So whatever you understand to be a CEO, are you behaving like the same one? So that is again a body language, a mindset, the way you think, the way you strategize, all those things. Then the next is focus on the solution of an immediate problem. Do you focus on the solution of an immediate problem? Communicate always, don't keep to yourself. Many people, they will, if so, the world requires you to report as soon as you think that you will be late. Even if you are being late by 1 minute, 2 minutes, or 3 minutes, and if you don't know that you will be late, then it is the first thing you should be working on yourself, that you don't know, you are bad at your estimation, right? So that is one thing. And even if you have a slight inkling about that you are going to be late, immediately, even if you are not late, you are in time, tell that. Tell that whoever is waiting, don't keep waiting. That is very, very unprofessional. So are you the same person? Know somebody a little better. So whenever you are meeting somebody, you should know a little better about that person, although you know the person already. So that will be to your advantage as to how you can leverage that person's strength as well. Help somebody become more. Whenever you, even if you are working for somebody else, if you are helping somebody to become more, that means you are creating a leader. Then this is the work of a CEO. Are you doing the same? If not delegate, then automate. So many people come to me asking that if they are the one-man army, then how can they delegate? So if that is not possible, then automate it, because routine works always can be automated, and once automated, it takes significantly less time. and keep yourself open for a new opportunity. You don't know when the opportunity will come, what kind of opportunity will come. Are you refusing to take some opportunity because this requires decision making? Many of us actually can't see opportunities. So these are the few uh, characteristics of a to be CEO, right? And then bottom line reality. What is the core behind your efforts? Why are you working whatever you are working for? Do you know? Some questions are there also. Have you established your principles, value system? So for some people, say somebody the other day I was listening to somebody and he is into stock trading. And the day when he has some kind of quarrel with his wife, he makes some intentional mistakes in the stock trading and he faces some losses. And what is the value system out here? So he is troubled by his value system. He is troubled by his conscience that he is not able to do um, any justice to his wife, so he should punish himself. So if this is the value system, you are not going to be happy ever, right? Because sometime or other there will be a fight, and as a result of this fight, you are going to suffer some loss. Is this not stupidity? But for him, the person, it is the dilemma that he is facing, right? So one needs to have this value system. It is not as funny as I'm trying to portray it. It's sometimes very 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 essential. For example, some person some time back, let me stop sharing and come to the screen. Sometimes back, one of my mentor, actually grand mentor, he has a value system, and he is the master of this little voice and the code of honor. And he was saying that he was a person of uh, the rules that he makes. So one of the rule was never to go back until the target is achieved. So this is usually the goal of leaders, right? So what he did, so in one of the tracking, he was tracking Mount Kilimanjaro once, the first time, and with him was his son. So after the base camp, in between the climb, his son fell sick. He his temperature was high, and there was no way out, but the son needed to go to the base camp. And after the base camp, he was to be carried to a hospital where nobody was speaking English. Now that that meant that my mentor had to accompany his son to the base camp, which meant that he had to no, give up the expedition without achieving it. So it was kind of a value contradiction for him. Now he had placed his value system that family was a priority for him. So that value system needed to be established, that when it comes to the family, then no other target can come to disrupt that. So the value system helps us to get to take a better decision. So whatever decisions you are taking, that decision has to be backed by these kind of value system. Otherwise, it will always put you in some time kind of guilt and wrong decision as well. What kind of systems do you operate in? What control system do you have? So, and what strategies do you have in place to achieve whatever you are trying to achieve? What are the tactics do you employ to get your work done? Are you delegating, prioritizing, or learning deeper? How to, like say, as I suggested few slides earlier, that you can automate, you can delegate, you can do it at some time prior as part of your strategizing and planning, and be ready before the deadline. Then what are the action points you engage on daily basis? So if it is every day, it should take lesser time than you think it should take. So every day, if it is taking the same amount of time, it means that you have not grown efficient over this. Do you track results of each action? It is again a corollary of the earlier question that I asked. Always you need to, anybody, each of us need to evaluate whatever work we have done and what we have achieved. So that the next step that we are going to take should be properly planned. And the three secrets that I teach here is leadership growth, power mantra, and legacy. Why these three? Because in my mind, what all we are bothered about is how to manage self, how to manage people, and how to manage time. So if we manage people, then like say how people perceive us and how we perceive ourselves and how the world is going to perceive us after we are gone. These are the three questions that bothers us most of the time, which is why our aspirations stem from there, right? And in leadership growth, become a leader, establish uniqueness. So for my formula is establish uniqueness, then you can become a leader, and train another person to become more. So these are the three things that you do to become a leader. So whether you achieve that position or position of power or not, that doesn't matter. You can still become a leader because the position can come and go. But you being a leader, you being the unique person who is appropriate for a particular kind of task, has to stay. Otherwise, there is no meaning in achieving that position. Power mantra is play on your strength. Like say all of us have some strength and some weakness. So but don't bother much about the weaknesses. All of us will have that even if we work on that. So don't waste your time on rectifying your weaknesses. Play on your strength. Make it a better place than before, wherever you are put in. Recognize opportunities and know your blessings. So it takes, in the beginning also I discussed that recognizing opportunities take decision making. So that is why many people avoid recognizing opportunities. The moment they recognize opportunity, it requires some action taking. So any action taking requires some decision making, and that is the chain they cannot, they, most of them, most of us, many of us are not able to take. Know your blessings. So whatever blessings you have, your uniqueness, whatever you have, that is the power mantra about ourselves. This is how we perceive ourselves. Are we able to perceive in a positive way for all these four things? That is the power mantra. And legacy is what pays you even after retirement. So for any layman, this is what I call. It starts with that. If you are a subject matter expert, it will pay you even after retirement. That is why I say the position, the power, it doesn't matter once you know your subject and you can make a difference. That is what you should look for and work towards. What is that you love to do endlessly? Of course, this is something we need to discover, right? And whatever we love to do, and it should be monetized to pay us. What are you doing to develop it right now? These will be part of the legacy. It is not exactly a legacy, but we need to work on this right now. So uh, there are few concepts out here that we can learn once we get into the journey. And yes, and what you know, leadership mindset, leadership all. I know note taking. I like Happy Insta and LinkedIn Live, seeing the strength in people, seeing where the need plugging. This is what my strengths are, what I know. What are your strengths? This is the way I have written down mine. And I want you to understand that anybody and everybody can be helped with whatever uniqueness one has, because nobody else knows about that, right? You better than you. Then these are a few testimonials. Uh, then what we'll know is achieve leadership growth by strategizing your career ladder. So this is the latest formula that I have devised. So many people, one client came to me asking that his HR has asked him to be better at strategic communication, and he thought that his English was not good, you know. So I, in the course of communication, I asked him. He was communicating with me in English only. I was able to understand perfectly, and whatever I was telling him, he also understood and also communicating with me perfectly. So there was no problem with English. So why do you think that English is the thing that your HR has asked you to improve? So, but there is another term in that communication, which is strategic communication. Now, from that, I told him that you have to place your entire profile in a very strategic way, and regarding that only you tell the HR or report or act or take decisions. Whatever you do, it should go in a very strategic manner. That is what strategic communication is, and everybody should understand whatever you are doing. It cannot be the manual or routine way that you have been doing in your earlier profile. So I thought, what was his career ladder should be in that, because he has chosen this path to be his career path right now, although his experience had been different. Now, how do you know that you are doing the things very differently? No matter wherever which field you are, you have to uh, be be going by your indicators. Whatever you are doing, that results to be known. You know your results, but can you tell it to others very precise and crisp way? If you cannot, then you should know that this is where you need to work, because it might be the process wherein you are working right now, it is not leading to any result. It might take a lot of time for you, for that process to yield result, but where, what time, how much time do you need more? All these are numbers. You can tell this also. And what is the process that is going to take? What is the stages of that process? Each of that can be a result. So results to be known, then growth trajectory monitored. When you monitor your growth trajectory, it has to be upward. If it is flat, whatever you did yesterday and whatever you are doing today, and the results are the same, it is not improving, then it is a stuck situation. You are stuck there. So that trajectory has to be monitored, so that it remains upward, and train people to replace you. This is the third thing and the most important thing which I keep telling, that you need to help people to become leaders. These are the three indicators that you should be regularly monitoring, and the action points for that is problem analysis, presentation skill, optimum use of time, budget, and HR, creating a second line leaders, overcoming ambiguity, and subject matter expertise. These are the 6 action points one needs to do day in and day out. And there will be some myths, as I told you, that communication is more than English. Like that, we will break many of the myths which will kind of tease whatever you already have thought of. That might be very outdated, old fashioned. So what problems happening now? List those down, which is very important. Whatever problems you are having, writing them down will give you clarity as to whether you are having those problems or not. Why do you think those are happening? The reasons thereof. Are you bad at your attitude? Are you very reactive? Are you bad at some skill? All these things you can write it down. Nobody is going to see your diary when where you are writing. It is for yourself only. So this should be an ongoing analysis for today, tomorrow, this week, this month, whatever interval you can do. It has to be very regular. How is your work life health? Focus on your productivity. As I said, whenever you are complaining, I'll have another slide to show. Whenever you are complaining, you are thinking of an alternative. Whenever you are thinking of an alternative, the more experienced you are, the alternative is going to come that late. Because the more experienced you are, the alternative, the proper alternative will take that much of time, sometimes 3 to 5 years. So during that when you are looking for that alternative, you are operating at 20% productivity level, which means for 3 to 5 years you are operating at 20% productivity level. So then what happens to your potential? So this is where one should focus. One should uh, keep one's mind in. And if the complaining mindset continues, then you know that you are hampering your own potential. Nobody else is responsible. And I did a market research about what could be the problems these first-time managers face. Towards the left side, there are the problems related to workplace issues, and towards the right, these are the personal issues. So compared to the workplace issues, which can be resolved by the system, the uh, right side issues are too many, which are related to the personal development side. So this requires your habits, your mindset, and everything. And as a result of this, your productivity gets hampered. In what way? Your life decisions, work decisions, competition, communication, confidence, colleagues, learning a skill, embarking on a big vision, managing time, consistency. These are a few of the areas I have already listed, which people have reported to be getting affected. So why should you not want a short-term solution? And people also come to me asking for an immediate solution for their problem without understanding that one problem actually has come up because of the problem in another area. And because they don't want to discuss or disclose or focus on that problem, because of some reason, this problem has come up, and then there cannot be a quick fix. Even if I give a quick fix for that solution, this problem will persist, and this problem will come up again and again and again. So what can be a long-term solution? Some possible or impossible looking solutions right now. So for a person who is having a problem, your solution may or may not look possible for him. But right now, you have to accept that this is the solution that is going to happen. What all you have tried so far. So if you have a problem, at least you should give yourself time to understand whatever effort you have given for that to solve that problem. What has been those? Which is why this problem has persisted. Has it come up right now? If it has come, then why? What is the reason that you are so turbulent right now for a problem which is just recent? Why should you be so turbulent about that? Give some time, it will go away. If not, then you definitely know that the problem has another root, and that needs to be discovered, and you are not going to tell it straight away to anybody. So allow the person who is trying to help you to discover that in his or her own way. Why it did not work out? Your reasons of failures. Also, you list out. Of course, in the beginning, you will not own up this. But what are the reasons of failures? You at least blame somebody, blame circumstances. At least from that also one can figure out what is the real reason of failures. Why it is beneficial to have a long-term solution? Here is what my take is. You will save time. You will take you should you can take a proven path. It will save your reputation, and it will give a lot of choices. Which one is your choice? Maybe as a person you should have all these four choices, right? So anyways, so this is my blueprint, wherein I talk about three sets. One is mindset, another is tool set, and the third one is skill set. So the first one is your tool set, right? Or skill set. Let us say skill set first. Skill set is how you differentiate yourself. And once you differentiate, you have to prove that you are resilient enough. You can do that time and again, so as to be associated with that quality, that uniqueness. So, and then once you establish that, you influence people. And for sufficient time, if you influence, then it gets you prominence. So that is the skill set that you are working with. Then the tool set is the attitude, habit, action, and perception, right? And these are all about yourself, right? Even if somebody has all the prominence and everything, if they are weak on their perception or external habit or attitude, it will not take them any far. So this is the second thing you can have. Then the third thing is resourceful influencing. Resourcefulness is the third thing that you should have in everybody. Each of us has some skills with which one is resourceful. The solution occurs to them all by themselves. So that is the third thing, and the entire thing takes you towards the journey of leadership growth, and it happens over and over and over again in each level, wherever you are. If you are now first time managers, if that is so, then you are somewhere else. Now you are first time manager, maybe you will become a senior manager next time, and the next level. At each level there is a competition in the same way, and the process to do it is the same, but it has to be in a different style, right? The skills will be very different, but at each level you have to establish your uniqueness, you have to prove it, you have to influence with that, you have to get the next prominence level with your attitude, habit, action, and perception level. The most robust it is, the more. And when you grow up to the next level, the mindset actually takes a prominence over all other qualities. So daily instant fix. So whenever there is a problem, ask these three questions. As I said, it is about how you manage how you perceive yourself, how you are perceived by people, and how you perceive time. So the first thing is reality check, which is how do you perceive yourself in this situation? How do people see you? That is what resilience is. And how would you like to perceive by the posterity? Is the range that you should be working? Are you willing to take this thing? Then daily dilemmas of life, there will be many that we will also get trained about. And my journey is, so far I have trained 18,000 professionals to impact about 1 crore lives since 2008. And whoever I have trained, they are doing great themselves, enhancing people's lives in many ways. Because whatever you learn, you cannot unlearn, right? So whatever you learn, you have learned, and so you will implement, obviously. And I found at least two skills in each of them which they didn't make use before. So these two skills we will discover in each of you, and you can make use of it. So I'll give example of one area, and this doesn't require any education. So I was working at some place. I'll cover that up in some time. So I was training this illiterate village women about SRI, system of root intensification, and they did it in paddy, they did it in wheat, they did it in mustard. And one day I heard some one of those ladies telling that now I am going to test it in urad, that is green gram, right? background rather. So who says this? I haven't heard many people saying this or even uh, trying to do this. These ladies have become so innovative. They were not educated, but I'll talk about them a bit more. But that is the thing, that is the strength one can give to these ladies. So in 2008, I worked in Rajasthan, wherein in 2 months' time, I enumerated 44 lakh women in 29 districts with the help of 12,000 trainers. So it required some planning, their logistics, and the camping, and the so many other skills that we gave them in whatever minimum way in 7 days time. And after that, every day we put 65 camps in each district to achieve this thing in just 2 months time. That meant that every day we covered 25,000 women. The next is in Meghalaya, where I implemented the CSC project under National E-Governance project. And in 7 districts of Meghalaya, we did 239 centers. And the core of that work was to connect the remote areas to the central server so that people can get the services at doorstep. And it required the connectivity issue. So the connectivity issue I solved. I am not a very technical person, but I wanted the solution. What solution can we give here? Because the broadband was not working. So I suggested one was the data card and another is VSAT. So when I went to the telephone department and asked them how do we do this, then the telephone department was surprised to know my solution. They said, how come you come up with this solution? I said, I was looking for solution. So that is the trick. Are you looking for solution? If you are looking for solution, it doesn't matter whether you are a technical person or not, whether you have worked in that area or not, the solution comes. It is your prerogative how to implement it. You don't have to be technical yourself. You can have people to get it done. The idea has to come from you, and that is what resourcefulness is all about. The third is Andhra Pradesh and Telangana crisis. There was a crisis in the microfinance situation which I tracked that time, and it was some you can say my analytics skill that come to the fore, and I knew that I am good at numbers also. Then I went to Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve, where people had at the beginning of the project only 3 months of food, and it was around by the tiger reserve, so they were dependent on the forest. They were getting very to the core of the forest, and they were getting killed. So the forest department asked us to implement something alternative solution so that people will not go to the forest and they will also have food security. So this is where I learned agriculture techniques and gave them these ideas of SRIs and multiplying their productivity. And we broke Madhya Pradesh mustard production record as well. Uh, in that, apart from being food sufficient, and we won 17 awards. And because of those awards were won by those ladies. I was being recognized for my contribution of being in the forest, staying with the ladies, and training them to achieve food sufficiency. So this can be done by anybody and everybody. If I could do this. And I got few recognitions such as uh, being sent abroad for study tour. And this is one of the grassroots workers who is now the CEO of the farmer producer organization out there. But where did I start? So my problem was like the same as the complaining and grieving people that I see around. That is how I know their journey, because I am through with this. I was a star performer like many of the first time managers are, and I loved my work. I handled a lot of tasks in emergency, but I was never given the position of the boss. That is why many people, when people say that they want to be the boss, that is when I say it is not required. And then the turnaround came when I attended a HR workshop meant for HR professionals, but I was not one. As I told, I was not one. But I designed the HR policy then and there and presented it. It impressed all of them. So that was my first experience of resourcefulness. I noticed I was not looking to be the boss anymore when I came to, as a result of that workshop, I was recognized and selected by the biggest company of that workshop to their portfolio. Otherwise, I wouldn't have stood a chance to getting recruited by that company. So here I did the all these projects, and I was never looking for to be the boss. I was looking for challenging tasks. So I knew my forte, how I stood out was, my uniqueness was challenging task, which whether a boss or no boss, you are the person who actually plays the important role. And so ultimately it is the task you love rather than the designation. That has been my understanding. Now, I uh, so learning impact one. If you come to my training, what you will gain. Learning impact one is how this learning will contribute to holistic development, improvement. So here I can tell you about what I'm thinking here. So when whatever I am doing, I'm thinking about global cooling and global greening. So how that whatever my experience has been, how it is going to help that. So that is what I discuss. No matter what, that will be my journey, and no matter whatever you are doing, with a slight tweak, you can be the same as well. You can be a global person right now and here. So we can discuss about something under that. Learning impact 2 will be who you would become. It doesn't matter what you will do, but in the process, in the journey, it is very important that you will change your identity. You can become, you can jump from version 0 to version 10, and that is where you place yourself. Even if you start the journey right now, you will reach there, right? Because you have started. Most of us don't start. We start nowhere, and we still dream to reach there. And we will learn about this as well. Then learning impact 3 is power resume. So many of us actually apply to different positions with the same resume. So we need to create a power resume, and there are several aspects of that we will learn. Then learning impact 4 will be strategic positioning. This is the core right now I am teaching. How would you position yourself very, very strategically? And we will know the process out here also. Learning impact 5 will be 7 aspects of leadership growth. Uh, my idea of leadership growth, which is irrespective of the power or the position that you have right now. So what will be those? That will be the fifth learning impact that you will get. Learning impact 6 will be developing characteristics of a resourceful mindset. Now, as I told you, everybody has two skills which can make them resourceful. But that mindset has to be there to utilize those skills, to take care of challenging situations. How can you do that? And that is where my core course comes in. And what you will learn by that is next level growth, daily wins, practicing mindfulness, dealing with ambiguity, emotional intelligence, managing challenges, uh, handling challenges. H is missing here. Let me write it out here. Handling change, power bonding, winning response, identifying strength. So this you can read from bottom up also, any sequence you want to. And the 5 gifts that along with that course I bring in is the internal patterns. So I already covered that this will be like how, mm, what way, what value system, how is your core, all that. Like say it starts with the morning thoughts, build a big team, chase your version 10, divergent models. These are all part of internal patterns, at least mine. So that is what we will be learning. There is a free course along with my main course. Results will be start the day with a defined expectation, recognize uniqueness in others, start small, build consistently, leverage the strength in others, nudge and budge, tweak or move on. And the second gift will be soul search. All this requires a lot of wherewithal. How do you agree with me? And this will not always show in the reality, in your circumstances. It you have to create it within. Unless you create. So the moment I can give you the Bandhavgarh design, wherein when I started, it was just teaching the villagers agriculture. It was that small. And agriculture, what way, whatever resources they have, whatever small plots they have, we started with SRI. So it started small and it became huge. We didn't even think that we will achieve food sufficiency, but um, we thought at least we can give them how to do better agriculture. So all this requires you a lot of power mind, right? So how do you do that? This is the setting intention, then attention, and then attitude. So these are the three wherein most of the professionals fail. They actually talk a lot, think very little. So that mindfulness that this course can bring about, then continuous upgrade. So the process is, the action point is always improve, raise your bar. And the process is very important whether you lose today or win. In spite of win, if your process is not solid, then you are going to lose someday. So if you are on the process, then it doesn't matter whether you lose or win because your quality will be established. There is a football team, no, Belgium. They haven't won any major title so far, but still they are termed as the best team. Why? Because the process is so much. They have raised the bar so much that other teams, whoever is watching them, they are actually learning a lot. And they are tweaking themselves, and Belgium's time will also come. It doesn't matter, no. The Guru Dronacharya was not the winner of Mahabharata. It was the Pandavas. But he was the person who taught the Pandavas better than the Kauravas, right? These are some testimonials, and as the result of these two courses will be raising the bar at each milestone. The moment you reach 999, you should reset yourself at 1000. How can you do that? That is the continuous process that you will be setting yourself 1% improvement daily, writing a big vision. It starts with writing a big vision, formulating a 90-day goal, outline an execution plan. Each event is a learning. Whatever is happening in your life, happening in your life is a learning. If you are losing, if it is termed as a failure, then the fourth bonus that I will be giving is mentoring. As I say, you have to teach another person to become a leader. The easiest way to do that is nurture your second leg. The fish, if it is a fish, this second line person, then ask him to swim better rather than asking him to fly, because a fish cannot fly, right? So that is your, as a leader, that is your uh, quality to recognize what strength that person has and help him or her grow. So I did one, so many I did, but this is the recent example that I have. I recruited one as my assistant, Moni Mandal, and I trained her in a particular way, she got confidence, and recently she has been given the charge of the HR. That is a big thing. She replaced me. Actually, I came from that post way before, like say 6 years back, but now she has grown to be the head of HR. So that is how I take my pride in. That is the way you develop your second and third rank. The result says, how can you create a 4 days work week? Prioritization of work. You will learn 80% time in planning, saving 4 hours every day. That is how you start. Creating 2, 3 successor at each level, and do defer, delegate, and delete. This will be the learning. And the legacy part, as I said, it has to be a creative diversion, direction with passion, and that new skill. So if you want to learn a digital skill out here, there are few which I can teach. Otherwise, I can help you get to that particular skill in a shortest possible time. There is a trick to learn, and the result will be learn a digital skill. For the each of that digital skill learning, you have to spend lakhs otherwise, which you will get here almost for free, right? Strategic support, data management, team management, writing own journey, helping others with content. So what do you learn every week? uh, is um, will be my contribution. It will be in a tradition of Gurukul. To train you, I get trained by 12 mentors and their mentor as well. So I have 12 mentors plus one grand mentor, who is the mentor of Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad. So will that tradition will continue. If you learn anything from me, you can also become a coach, teach it to other people. So he is my first mentor who recognized that I can be a coach, I can teach also with whatever I have. He is his coach. So I have qualified his first level right now, and going towards the second level. And these are the this is another of my coach, who is from Singapore, and he is Blair Singer, the coach of Robert Kiyosaki. Uh, he has that story of Mount Kilimanjaro, which he tried to climb with his son. And these are the 12 mentors from whom I am learning right now. And again, another photograph of Blair Singer, with whom I was recently in a workshop where he taught that courage is the most important thing about a leader. And this is the certification I got from him. My vision is to create 1 lakh super performing global players for a sustainable globe. As I told you, it has to be global cooling and global greening. And my mission is to impact 1 billion lives with 1 lakh super performing global players in 139 countries with a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. Working with core values uh, is what we'll be learning. And what is resourceful influencing also we'll be learning. So yeah, that is all. And if you take this offer within 15 minutes of this timer, this is a, of course, the actual value is 1,79,000, because I have invested so much in this. And but within 15 minutes of time, if you take this will be just 5,999. After that, it becomes 9,999 for a day, and then it goes back to its initial value, initial price. If you go by my website and buy it, it becomes say $197 per course. So Yeah, that's it. Any question? Stopping sharing. So, Dr. Subra, any question out there? You can come on video also. Yes, sir.
नमस्कार।
हाँ सर, बताएं।
सुन रहे हैं।
Yes, sir. मेरा yes. Right now is question answer time. Tell me.
आप अकेली ये कर रही हो या आपका यहाँ कोई टीम है?
Right now अकेले, but supporting team मेरे mentors हैं।
ना,
करने का
मेंटर्स
क्या
तो
है?
रहते ही है ऐसे ही, मतलब कोई भी जो काम हम लोग जैसे करते हैं विथ टीम करते हैं, अलोन तो कुछ कर नहीं पाते हैं, तो वही पूछ रहे हैं जो क्या आप टीम लेके क्या टीम बनाए हो या?
इसमें खाली माइंडसेट इश्यूज को चेंज करते हैं सर, तो इसके लिए टीम की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है। वट एवर आई हैव लर्न, वही खाली ट्विक कर देने से हो जाता है। आई गिव देम सम टूल्स कि जिससे वो अपना परफॉर्मेंस जो है उसको ट्रैक कर सकते हैं। एंड इसमें खाली काम है कि आई हैव टू लिसन टू देम प्रॉपरली, आई हैव टू टेक देयर whatever they are saying, उसको प्रॉपरली सीक्वेंसिंग करके उनको लॉजिकली बताना होता है। तो ये तो टीम में नहीं हो पाएगा ना, इट इज ओनली आई कैन डू। यस,
तो अभी सिर्फ ट्रेनिंग यही वाला आप कर रहे हैं ना?
हाँ, ट्रेनिंग में जितना आपको बताया, इट विल बी ऑनलाइन कोचिंग। इसमें क्या होता है कि सभी कोई डिफरेंट डिफरेंट प्रॉब्लम लेके आते हैं। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आज तो 4 लोग बोले कि आएंगे, वो नहीं आए, सो दैट सेज अबाउट देयर टाइम मैनेजमेंट, राइट? तो वो हिंट हो गया मुझे। सो टाइम मैनेजमेंट की का इशू बहुत लोगों को होता है। एक तो मैनेज नहीं कर पाते, टाइम एफिशिएंट नहीं रहते, बोलते हैं कि हम सुबह से शाम काम कर रहे हैं। सो इफ यू आर ऑलरेडी डूइंग सुबह से शाम काम इन दिस पोजीशन, तो आगे चल के आप सीईओ बनोगे, तो आपका तो मतलब टाइम अपने लिए बचेगा, सांस लेने का भी फुर्सत नहीं होगा। सो दैट इज वेयर आई टेल देम कि आप पहले अपने आईना देखो, अपने सामने आईना रखो कि वेयर यू स्टैंड। ऐसे बोल देने से तो नहीं होगा ना, ऑलरेडी यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड। सो ए लॉट ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग रिक्वेस्ट टू हैपन। ये फर्स्ट टाइम जो मैनेजर बनते हैं ना, उनके पास बहुत सारे ड्रीम्स आ जाते हैं, अकॉर्डिंगली उनके एक्शन नहीं हो पाते, और वो उसको इजीली एक्सेप्ट भी नहीं कर पाते अनलेस दे टॉक। वो बात करेंगे, मैं सुनूंगी और उनको सोल्यूशन बोलूंगी। इज दैट मैं वेरी फ्यू पीपल दे वांट टू लर्न समथिंग एल्स। सो अभी मैं इतना कम में इसलिए दे रही हूँ इसको, क्योंकि मुझे कुछ सिखाना नहीं होगा। मुझे पता है कि दे आर नॉट रेडी फॉर दैट। ये जो स्टक हो जाते हैं ना, दे आर नॉट लुकिंग फॉर सोल्यूशन राइट नाउ। वो सोल्यूशन माइंडसेट तक आने के लिए अभी मुझे सिर्फ उनके उनके जो आर्गुमेंट्स, उनके इनर जो डिस्कशन होता है, उसको खाली डायरेक्शन देना है।
नहीं, हमारी जो छोटी सी एक एक्सपीरियंस है इंडिया में, तो ये है जो जब तक ना इंसान में कोई चीज बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग लगे, वो आएंगे नहीं। अगर आएंगे भी तो रहेंगे नहीं। सो इफ यू स्टार्ट विथ अ फार्मर्स टू बी CEOs or CEOs who want to develop themselves, तो इन लोग में क्या होता है नॉर्मली थंब रूल में, वो लोग उस चीज में ही चले जाते हैं जिसमें उन लोग का बहुत इंटरेस्ट लगता है। जैसे हमारे फार्मर्स को यहाँ पर फार्मिंग बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग नहीं लगता है, इसीलिए हमारे फार्मर्स इतना इंटरेस्टेड नहीं है आइडिया लेने में। वो ICAR का साइंटिस्ट आए या मैनेज के सब एक्सपर्ट्स आए या इजराइल से एक्सपर्ट्स आए या कोई भी आए, एज बिकॉज ये लोग कंपेल्ड होके कर रहे हैं, दे हैव लॉस्ट देयर पैशन इन मोस्ट ऑफ द थिंग्स।
नहीं सर, लास्ट टाइम आप बता रहे थे कि बहुत सारे लोग लाखों लेके घूम रहे हैं अपने पॉकेट में, राइट? तो वो जो सस्टेनेबल मॉडल आपने क्रिएट किया है, अगर उसका पार्ट इन फार्मर को बना देंगे तो देन दिस फार्मर विल बी इंटरेस्टेड, क्योंकि पैसा
नहीं, ये बोल रहे हैं।
हाँ।
देखिए जो होता है ना, सेइंग इज बिलीविंग। नाउ जब तक हमारे यहाँ कोई सक्सेसफुल मॉडल नहीं देखता है तो वो रेप्लिकेटेड नहीं होता है, क्योंकि नॉर्मल इंडियन माइंडसेट में रेप्लिकेशन ही पड़ा हुआ है। इनोवेशन जो है, इन ट्रू सेंस इनोवेशन, और देखिए हर इनोवेशन के पीछे एक होलिस्टिक थॉट होना चाहिए। तो अभी वो चाइना वाला बात चला आया, जो आप करो हम उसको रेप्लिकेट करेंगे। तो जो भी है हमारे यहाँ जब एक सक्सेसफुल मॉडल होता है उसमें सब जोड़ना शुरू करता है। जैसे पहले हम लोगों को बड़ा कष्ट उठाने पड़ा, अभी कुछ नहीं करने पड़ता, अभी ऑटो पायलट मूड में सब चल रहा है। तो ये ऑटो पायलट मूड में आने के लिए रेप्लिकेबल मॉडल्स भी होना चाहिए। द मोमेंट कोई सक्सेसफुल रेप्लिकेबल मॉडल हो जाता है ना, तो बस, और उसको रोका ही नहीं जाता है। जैसे मान लीजिए अभी इस वक्त मैं कालिम्पोंग और सिक्किम की बॉर्डर में हूँ, और वहाँ क्या हुआ, यहाँ पर हम लोग जब होम स्टे का मॉडल स्टार्ट करने के लिए शुरू किए, सो इट वाज अ वेरी वेरी चैलेंजिंग थिंग। और मेरे को चैलेंजिंग एरियाज पसंद होता है, तो अंडमान्स हो या सुंदरबन जंगल एरियाज हो या ये सब बॉर्डर एरियाज ऑफ सिक्किम, कालिम्पोंग, ये सब हो, तो यहाँ ऐसा हुआ था। तो जब यहाँ पर 10 होम स्टे बन गया और एग्री टूरिज्म शुरू हो गया, काफी आदमी आना शुरू किया, 5 स्टार को छोड़ के यहाँ रहना शुरू किया, इसका एक मजा ही अलग से वो लोग टेस्ट करना शुरू किया। तो बस नाउ इट हैज क्रॉस्ड मोर देन 15,000 होम स्टेज, and that has been replicated in Darjeeling also, in entire Kalimpong and Sikkim, and it has crossed 10,000 plus.
Okay.
अभी रोका ही नहीं जा रहा, अभी हर दिन आप आओ यहाँ तो देखोगे 3, 4, 5 बनते ही जा रहा है। तो अभी और भी इनोवेटिव चीज लाने पड़ रहा है, अभी वैल्यू एडिशन लाने पड़ रहा है, प्रोसेसिंग प्लांट्स लाने पड़ रहा है, एक छोटा मिनी फूड प्रोसेसिंग पार्क लाने के शुरुआत हो रहा है, एक स्किल डेवलपमेंट यूनिवर्सिटी भी, उसका जमीन भी लोकेटेड हो चुका है। तो ये होते रहता है ना, जो इंटरेस्ट जब लग जाता है तो आप उन लोगों को रोक नहीं पाओगे। सेकेंड चीज है, जो अभी जो मार्केट चल रहा है उसमें लॉन्ग टर्म कमिटमेंट वाले तो कम आएंगे ना, ज्यादा आएंगे जिसको अभी अभी कुछ मिलेगा, अभी अभी कुछ प्रॉफिट बेनिफिट व्हाटएवर ये मिलेगा। और वो क्या है, एक टीम नहीं होने से, नहीं बहुत आदमी अकेले कर सकते हैं, टीम नहीं होने से लगता है क्या ना, जो पूरा जो काम है वो होता नहीं है। तो वही वाले, आप जितने भी समझाओ, जितने भी अच्छा बोलो, अच्छी चीज बोलो, देखोगे वो टीम नहीं होता ना तो वो काम में भी नहीं आता है, वो इन्फ्लुएंस्ड भी नहीं होता है। ये भी एक बड़ा बात है। सो मेकिंग ए टीम इज ए वेरी वेरी बिग थिंग, हमारी इंडिया में बोल रहे हैं।
हाँ जी सर, जब आप फील्ड में उतर के कुछ कर रहे हो ना, तब टीम की जरूरत तो है। लेकिन जब आप पढ़ा रहे हो किसी को, दैट हैज टू बी वेरी यूनिक। वो आप क्या है ना कि जैसे आपने बताया कि अब उसको सोचने के लिए भी इंसान अभी सोचता नहीं है ना, बहुत
नहीं
सारे लोग
सोचेगा नहीं तो
हाँ
फास्ट लाइफ है। और क्या है ना, ये अभी कम्युनिकेटिंग जो टूल्स है हमारे, बहुत सबके हाथ में आ चुका है। कुछ है या नहीं है तो एक स्मार्टफोन तो खरीद लेगा चाइनीज वाला 2000 में,
हाँ
और वहां पर बहुत सारे चीज वो देख देख पा जाता है, और वो चूज भी वहां कर नहीं पाता है, ज्यादा से ज्यादा जो है परप्लेक्स्ड हो जाते हैं। तो इसीलिए एक होता है,
जी सर। अभी
जैसे
अभी
आप बोल रहे थे जो आज 4 आने वाले थे और चारों में एक भी आए नहीं है।
हाँ, तो फिर वो
तो
शायद सोच रहे हैं कि क्योंकि मेरा अलग दिन 9:30 बजे होता है ना, शायद
हाँ,
इनको लगा कि ये शायद आज भी 9:30 बजे है, इसीलिए। बाकी दिनों में मैं आपको 9:30 बजे इनवाइट करती हूँ ना, खाली सैटरडे होता है जब मैं 7:30 बजे करती हूँ। एनीवे सर,
हम्म,
अच्छा लगा, फिर डिस्कशन
हाँ
करें।
हाँ,
सर आप अगर सोच रहे हैं कि एक लॉन्ग टर्म पार्टनरशिप, क्योंकि बारी बारी आप मेरे डिस्कशन में आ रहे हैं, तो कुछ सोच रहे हैं कि कुछ जैसे हमने लास्ट टाइम भी डिस्कस किया था कि आप मुझे कनेक्ट करेंगे कुछ आपके लोग जो हैं, आपने अभी तक किया नहीं, तो करें तो फिर कुछ जैसे आपने सोचा है कि फार्मर को इस तरह से एक मॉडल बनाएंगे, कुछ और भी मॉडल बनाने के लिए और भी लोग इंटरेस्टेड हैं, उसके लिए जो बंदे सोचते हैं वैसे वाले बंदे चाहिए। तो
हम्म,
आप कनेक्ट करें, क्योंकि कुछ लोग पैसा तभी लगाएगा ना, वो तो लोगों को देख के लगाएगा, मतलब जो टीम है, जैसे आप बोल रहे हैं टीम को देख के लगाएगा कि इनमें कितना कमिटमेंट है। तो जैसे किसी बंदे के साथ मैं अभी कनेक्ट हुई थी, तो वो बोल रहा है कि गंगा जहाँ से निकलती है, रुद्रप्रयाग, वहां पे बहुत सारी नदियों को मिला के गंगा बनती है, तो वहां पे वो कुछ करना चाहता है। तो हाँ, तो
हम्म,
जो करना चाहता है वो तभी करेगा, अकेले तो कर नहीं सकता है जितना वो सोच रहा है। तो उसको तो टीम चाहिए होगा। तो टीम में
एकदम
क्या
एकदम।
चाहिए होगा, टीम में वो फार्मर के साथ वो काम उसने कभी जिंदगी में किया नहीं, तो वो जाके खुद तो फार्मर के साथ कर नहीं सकता। तो
हम्म,
ऐसे लोगों को वो खोज रहा है, सोच रहा है, समझ रहा है, जो जो लोग थोड़ा बहुत उनके साथ काम करते हैं या फिर आसपास के एरिया में हैं,
हम्म,
राइट। तो ऐसे बहुत सारे एरियाज होंगे जहाँ पे लोग हैं जो आसपास, और वो उनको काम करना पसंद है, डेवलपमेंट काम वो करेंगे। सो
नहीं हमारे यहाँ और एक जो है जिसमें शायद हम लोग को चर्चा हो सकता है, टू गेट आवरसेल्व्स एनरिच्ड। जो यहाँ जितने पढ़े लिखे लड़के लड़की हैं, वो लोग नॉर्मली क्या है, पढ़े लिखे में तो अच्छा है, मोस्ट ऑफ देम उन लोगों के पैशन एंटरप्रेन्योर बनना कम है। तो पैशन क्या है, पैशन नौकरी करना है, बाहर में जाना है, थोड़ा हायर स्टडीज करना है।
सर, मैं क्या बोल रही हूँ कि ऐसे लोगों को छोड़ दीजिए, क्योंकि उनके बारे में
नहीं हम तो
सोचेंगे ना।
छोड़ते हैं, हमारे तो हम तो
नहीं नहीं, मैं आगे आगे
हम
का डिस्कशन ले जाते हैं सर, कि जो दो एक लोग आपको दिखते हैं ना जो इसमें पैशनेट है, जैसे वो लड़की के बारे में आपने बताया था जिनके फादर आपके
ए शावनी, 1 minute प्लीज। आई एम श्योर। ए शावनी, शावनी, ओह दे आर वेरी बिजी।
हाँ, एनीवेज, तो
ओके
ऐसे
ओके।
हाँ, तो उनको फिर से मेरा नेक्स्ट
शी हैज
कॉल।
रिटर्न टुडे फ्रॉम कैलकाटा,
हाँ,
फ्रॉम सुंदरबन एरियाज,
हम्म,
बट टुडे यहाँ पर बहुत सारे आदमी आया हुआ है। सब वो लोग अभी बारबेक्यू कर रहा है, ये कर रहा है, दे आर एंजॉयिंग।
हम्म, ठीक है
तो
ठीक है सर, तो
बाद में
फिर
हम परिचय करवा देंगे।
हम्म, तो उनके साथ जैसे ग्लोबली भी, क्योंकि जूम कॉल है, कोई भी कहीं से भी कनेक्ट हो सकता है। सो कनेक्ट होके इसके वे फॉरवर्ड हम ढूंढे, रादर देन सिटिंग हियर एंड डिस्कसिंग अबाउट समथिंग। सबका कुछ कुछ व्यू पॉइंट आएगा। तो ये जो डिस्कशन कॉल है, मंडे को है, वेडनेसडे को है, एंड देन फ्राइडे को है, तो उसमें आप उनको बुलाइए, या फिर जो लिंक मैंने आपको दिया था वो लिंक आप उनको भेज दीजिए, तो वो रजिस्टर हो जाए ताकि वो मेरे कॉल में आ पाए, राइट? जी, तो फिर हम वे आउट निकालेंगे, अदरवाइज तो ऐसे ही चलता रहेगा कि कैसे क्या करें। ठीक है सर, तो और तो कुछ है नहीं, नेक्स्ट टाइम डिस्कस करते हैं मंडे को, राइट? राइट सर? सुन रहे हैं? मैं बोली मंडे को डिस्कस करते हैं, लेट अस स्टॉप हियर, राइट?